Hi, my name is Akankshya Upadhyay and I am your English instructor. In today's class, we will go through a World Guide to Good Manners. This is in the first unit of our English book. Let's begin. Let's first go through the study time. Now we will read the text that's given in our book and then answer the questions. The topic is A World Guide to Good Manners, How Not to Behave Badly Abroad. So this is the topic. Traveling to all corners of the world is getting easier and easier. We live in a global village, but this doesn't mean that we all behave in the same way. Different people of different countries have their own way of life. The greetings. How should you behave when you meet someone for the first time? An American or Canadian shakes your hand firmly while looking you straight in the eyes. In many parts of Asia, there is no physical contact at all. In Japan, you should bow, and the more you respect the person, the deeper you should bow. In Thailand, the greeting is made by pressing both hands together at the chest as if you are praying, and bowing your head slightly. In other countries, eye contact is avoided as a sign of respect. Now we'll go through the clothes. Many countries have rules about what you should and should not wear. In Asian and Muslim countries, you should not reveal the body, especially women, who should wear long-sleeved tops. In Japan, you should take off your shoes while entering a house or a restaurant. Remember to place them together facing the door you came in. This is also true in China, Korea, Thailand, and Iran. Now we have food and drink. In Italy, Spain, and Latin America, lunch is often the biggest meal of the day and can last 2 or 3 hours. For this reason, many people eat a light breakfast and a late dinner. In Britain, you might have a business lunch and do business as you eat. In Mexico and Japan, many people prefer not to discuss business while eating. Lunch is a time to relax and socialize, and the Japanese rarely drink alcohol at lunch times. In Britain and the United States, it is not unusual to have a business meeting over breakfast, and in China, it is common to have business banquets, but you should not discuss business during the meal. Now, doing business. In most countries, an exchange of business card is essential for all introductions. You should include your company name and your position in a business card. If you are going to a country where your language is not widely spoken, you can get the reverse side of your card printed in the local language. In Japan, you must present your card with both hands, with the writing facing the person you are giving it to. In many countries, business hours are from 9 or 10 a.m. to 5 or 6 p.m. However, in some countries such as Greece, Italy, and Spain, some businesses close in the early afternoon for a couple of hours and then remain open until the evening. Japanese business people consider it their professional duty to go out after work with colleagues to restaurants, bars, or nightclubs. If you are invited, you could not refuse, even if you do not feel like staying out late. Now we have some extra tips. Here are some extra tips that will help you when you travel. In many Asian cultures, it is acceptable to smack your lips when you eat. It means that the food is good. In France, you should not sit down in a cafe until you have shaken hands with everyone you know. In India and the Middle East, you must never use the left hand for greeting, eating, or drinking. In China, your host will keep refilling your dish until you lay your chopsticks across your bowl. Most South Americans and Mexicans like to stand very close to the person they are talking to. You should not back away. In Russia, you must match your host's drink for drink or they will think you are unfriendly. In Ireland, social events sometimes end with singing and dancing. You might be asked to sing. In America, you should eat your hamburger with both hands as quickly as possible. You should not try to have a conversation until it is eaten. And with this, we've finished reading or going through our text. Now we will solve a vocabulary question and we have a crossword puzzle here. But we will not make a puzzle in the board today. Instead, we will write the meanings of the words that are given in the across and down section. Vocabulary in use. In the first, under a cross section, we have uncomfortable. Uncomfortable or humiliating. Now the appropriate word for uncomfortable and humiliating is embarrassing. So let's write it down. Next, we need to find a word that means a part of a piece of cloth that covers your arm. This means sleeve. The next word we need to find is show. To show means to reveal. Our next phrase is in a strong or definite way. So this means firmly. The word opposite means reverse. And finally, the last word, co-workers. The synonym for co-workers is colleagues. Next, we will read the text and decide whether the following sentences are true or false. So the first statement is, when Americans meet us for the first time, we shake hands. While we read the text before, we said that an American or a Canadian shakes your hand firmly while looking you straight in the eyes. So this is true. The second statement is, in many parts of Asia, friends kiss on both cheeks when they meet. So we live in Asia, and we don't need to read any text to say that this statement is false. This statement is false. In Mexico, many people think that lunch is a time to relax and socialize. This is true. We have this text in the section Food and Drink, where it's written that in Mexico and Japan, many people prefer not to discuss business while eating. Lunch is a time to relax and socialize. So this is true. In India, we should take off our shoes while entering a restaurant. This is false, because in Japan, you should take off your shoes while entering a house or a restaurant. It's not India. So we write false. The next statement is, in Japan, we must present our business cards with both hands. This is true. And the final statement for today, to state whether it's true or false, is, in Spain, some business close in the early afternoon for a couple of hours. So this is true again, because we just read that they close in the early afternoon and stay open until evening. Next, we will answer the questions. So this is the question and answer section. So this is the question and answer section. The first question is, mention one difference between the American and the Japanese greetings. The answer for this question is, the one difference between an American and Japanese greeting is that Americans shake hands while Japanese bow down. So this is different from this, and here we have the difference. Is your main meal of the day same as that in Britain? To answer this question, first we need to go back to our text and see what Britain take there as their main meal. So in Britain, you might have a business lunch and do business as you eat. And also in Britain and United States, it is not unusual to have a business meeting over breakfast. So by these sentences, we know that the text is more focused about the business in Britain. However, we can be smart enough to answer this question and write, no, the main meal of the day is not as same as in Britain. Because it's obvious, and we know for our general knowledge that what we eat as the main meal of the day, it is not consumed in Britain. Next question is, when is it necessary to print your business card in the local language? So this answer is in this section of doing business, where we know that if we are going to a country where our language is not widely spoken, it is necessary to print business cards in the local language. So the answer is, when we travel to a country where our language is not widely spoken, it's necessary to print the card in the local language. The last question that we'll be solving today is, where does physical distance between the speakers play significant role? The answer is in our extra tips, where we have that the physical distance between the speakers plays significant role in South America and Mexico, as people like to stand very close to the person they are talking to. The physical distance between the speakers play significant role in South America and Mexico, as people like to stand very close to the person they are talking to. And with this, we've come to the end of this section. And now, there is a homework question for you, which is really very easy. So the homework for today is to answer the following questions. The first one is, what kind of clothes should Muslim women not wear in Muslim countries? In the clothes section, we have Muslim countries should not reveal the body, especially women who should wear long sleeve tops. So we have that sentence. You just need to revise the sentence and answer this question. The second question is, how do Canadians greet each other? The answer is in the greeting section of our text, where we have the answer for this question. And finally, how long does it take for Latin Americans to complete their lunch? And this is in the food and drink section of our text. So we have come to the end of this class. If you have any questions, any suggestions, or anything that you wish to share with us, please feel free to write to us at learning@diawok.edu.np. Thanks for watching.